People say you have to engage to grow on Instagram, but how do you actually do it? Well, today I'm sharing my Instagram growth engagement routine so that you can maximize your time and reach new people. Ready? Let's do this. Hi my lovely people, it's Natalia and welcome back to my channel where I help you create better content and grow on social media. And one of the most important steps to building a following on Instagram is to engage with other creators, but how do you actually do it when you're pressed for time? Well, don't worry, I got you. In today's video, you'll learn the perfect 15-minute engagement strategy so you can start building an engaged community and grow on Instagram. Keeping things short and sweet here, let's dive right in. Step number 1, curate your feed. Before we get to the actual 15-minute routine, I want to make one crucial point that's going to speed up the process for you and make it more effective. This point has to do with your feed. What you want to do is to curate what you see there to make sure you're getting ready to engage with the right accounts straight away. And I recommend not to follow accounts that are not connected to your niche in some way. And this also means that following your friends from your business or creator account may not be the best way to go. And I realize this may rub some people the wrong way, but hear me out. The feed algorithm recognizes who you interact with most often and curates the feed accordingly. Same goes for the stories algorithm. So if you follow your friends or unrelated accounts, chances are you'll see more of their content and not have the opportunity to be immersed in your own niche. You won't see posts you can interact with easily as a business. You may not notice interesting trends or see what audiences similar to yours are asking for or interacting with in terms of the style of the content. And I definitely keep things separate and have a private account where you can keep relationships going with your friends. Then your business or creator account can be completely focused. I hope you see the merit of having a niche-specific following list, but let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Are you following friends on your business accounts or is it strictly business for you? And to jump on a few tips on how to keep a curated feed, I'd first follow bigger creators in your niche and then also add smaller accounts similar to yours. Again, it makes it easier to engage with them, stay on top of what's happening in the industry, and pick up on what your tribe may want to hear from you about. Another way of finding great content to engage with is to follow hashtags that both your audience may be looking for and hashtags that are used for the professional community of your niche, so the actual creators. This way, you're not relying on suggestions from IG and you see the posts in your feed without previously following the creators. All of this, of course, is going to widen your network. And with the recent feed updates, we also have a bit more power over what we see ourselves, and it's the perfect moment to put those options to good use. My favorite one here is adding your MVPs to your favorites, and by MVPs, I mean your actual followers who interact with you the most and who are really propelling your own engagement forward. I'm of the opinion that you need to give in order to receive, and if someone is really showing up for you, supporting you, and engaging with your content, showing that appreciation back in the form of a comment, a DM, or a story interaction is the least we can do as creators. So pop those top supporters in your favorites along with your absolute favorite people on the app, and it's going to be much easier to engage with them on a daily. Now that we have this out of the way, let's jump into the routine. Step number 1, check your feed. With all that I've just said in mind, checking your feed is the logical first step when you have it nicely curated. I like to scroll through it to see if there are any posts that stick out to me and I really resonate with. And this, I think, is the key to real, genuine, almost effortless engagement. When you find content that speaks to you in some way, it's leaving the door open for some quality connections. Another super important reason why a curated following is the way to go. Of course, I do drop likes when I like a post visually or like a caption, but don't feel like saying anything in the comments, and that's engagement too. But the foundation of any good engagement routine is meaningful comments. The moment a piece of content makes you feel something, dive in that comment section and share your emotion, your perspective, your tip, express gratitude for the post, whatever it is, make sure it's genuine. I can't even count the times I've seen comment sections filled with people saying things just for the sake of engagement. And these interactions also need to be appreciated, but I feel like we all can see through those comments and you can almost tell that it's not been written with the goal of creating a connection or expressing an authentic thought. You don't always have to write whole paragraphs, and short, snappy comments definitely have their time and place, but when we have limited time during the day to engage, it's great to make the most of the opportunity. So if you can, and if it feels right in the moment, elaborate in the comments a little bit more. Say what your key takeaway from the caption is, answer the question they ask, share a similar personal experience, and tell them why you like the post, not just that you like it. I always aim for 10 to 15 meaningful interactions within my feed because that's where I know the engagement is the most tailored. Step number 2, engage with stories. Stories are a fantastic place to engage with other creators on a deeper level, and I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on it when it comes to the daily engagement routine. And let me explain. Within stories, people usually share more casual content. It's sometimes a bit less polished, less curated, and therefore often much more relatable. If you only resort to commenting on feed posts, you're missing out big time on the opportunity to create more genuine connections. What I like to do is to jump to the stories feed and start by engaging with the stickers. I'll quickly vote on some polls, tap on emojis, I'll slide those sliders like a crazy person. You get my point. But my absolute favorite point is to make sure I interact with the question stickers as well. And I say they're my favorite because they're amazing conversation starters. If someone is doing an Ask Me Anything, you can literally get access to someone who you may not otherwise be able to ask a question to. And if they happen to choose your reply, you get to discover something you were genuinely curious about. Even if it's a different format to an MAA, you may find that your reply to a question sticker leads to a nice exchange in the DMs. And being in someone's DMs, apart from the most important bit, connection, means that the algorithm recognizes that other person as someone you talk to. And if you both follow each other, you'll see more of each other's content, so a win-win. Similarly to engaging with your feed post though, if something really resonates with you, don't be afraid to use the message bar and drop a conversational line here and there, again in the spirit of giving engagement and building relationships. Even a sentence or two shared in an authentic way can lead to some cool conversation, and that's what we're looking for on socials, right? Within the stories, I'm usually looking for 10 to 15 interactions because it's usually very quick and super achievable within a short routine. Step number 3, engage within hashtags. Now that we've interacted with our existing followers and following list, it's time to venture out of the known circle. People often say they want more reach, and I have the same thing to say here. If you want more people to reach you, how about taking matter into your own hands and proactively trying to reach a few new people too? Hashtags are a great place to go because if chosen wisely, you're sure you're going to find your audience there. So make sure you go to some of the hashtags you already follow or that you've added under your recent posts and engage with content there. Other than finding other amazing creators that can inspire you, you'll also be able to tap into new segments of your audience and figure out what resonates with them. You're killing 2 or even 3 birds with one stone because you're actively engaging, you're making new connections, and it serves as a bit of research to discover new things about your tribe. And again, if you see something that speaks to you, check if the creator shared any stories that day. I like to interact with 5 new creators through hashtags. Step number 4, explore further. Jumping into the explore page is a brilliant way to make new connections and discover new exciting content. And since it's tailored to your interest, you'll find that the more you interact with content from your niche, the more of this type of content you'll see there. And I'm not going to repeat myself here, but the principle is exactly the same. Meaningful comments, and if you have the time, story interactions too. Similarly to the hashtags, engaging with 5 new creators within the explore page is a good number to fit within a short engagement routine. So to summarize, we have 10 to 15 interactions within your main feed, 10 to 15 interactions in your stories, 5 within hashtags, and 5 within the Explore tab. What I like to do is to divide my 15 minutes, even with a timer on, to give 5 minutes to the feed, 5 to the stories, and then 5 for Explore and hashtags. I then know I'm hitting all the right places and I'm not stretching this routine by too far because let's face it, we're all quite busy and we don't want to spend an hour every day doing this because this time really adds up. That being said, working out a small routine like that means that you're intentionally creating space within our schedule to chat to people, to reciprocate with interactions to their content, and build meaningful connections that are really our best currency here. I try to fit this routine in after another short burst where I answer comments under my own content and reply to any DMs. This works nicely together and I end up spending not more than half an hour per day on social media interactions. Now, if you feel like you don't have that much time, by all means, adjust it as much as you want. You can skip the Explore tab altogether or limit the number of all interactions to 5-10 tops. My tip is to also prioritize the favorites feed and make sure you have the right people in there. The point is to always make it sustainable for you and achievable within the time that you have. Are you going to try this routine? Let me know in the comment down below, but let's not stop learning here because I have a really helpful video on what to do after you post on Instagram, so watch it next. It's going to help you boost your reach and engagement, and I'm sure you're going to love this one. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed for more juicy Instagram content like this. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.